All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. I think a minute in either direction I don't think is going to bother or affect most people. So, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, and welcome. My name is Nori. We're coming to you live from the Digital Engineering server. This is the Digital Engineering SMB Mod Pack, and this is RMS. As you can see, we are now sitting cozy in my new little office space. For those of you who've been watching right regularly, this was where I had my bed at. I have since relocated my bed elsewhere in the tower. We still have the kitchen back there. I've added some tables for when guests come to visit. I've set up a little personal workspace desk because, you know, why not? Maybe this doubles as a private bar. I don't know. Well, we'll figure that one out when we get around to it. But this is our community night. So, like we do every community night, we're going to take a look at what's changed. We're going to go look at what people have been doing. And we're going to talk about what's coming up next, what plans are, how things are moving, and what's going on. I have once again started my collection of armors. Luckily enough, there's not quite as many as there was in the Valhalla series, though that may change. I don't know. We'll see. Of course, yes, we have our kitchen in place here because, you know, we have cooking for Blockhead, so why wouldn't you take advantage of this? So all that's in there. We just had, as of Wednesday or Thursday, we rolled out a new version of the mod pack. And so we now have beer we can make and drink, which is what you see sitting on the tables here are filled cups of brew for people to look at. Anyways, as we meander, we finally got all of our tortoises. I don't know if you've been keying in, but I've been fighting with these guys to get one of each to get them to spawn the right resources on their back. So Trevor is our redstone turtle. Todd is our copper. Sam is the coal. Jerry is our lapis, and David is our iron guy. And interesting enough, they seem like to huddle against this wall for some reason. I keep shoving them around into the room further, but they'll eventually just migrate their way over to this side of the building. I haven't quite figured out why. It's just a thing that they do. You would think they wouldn't. I could, I suppose, attach leashes to them or corral them with fences, but they basically have free run of this entire floor anyway, so I don't think it really makes that much of a difference if they decide they want to huddle up against that one side wall. I haven't done too much with our upstairs deck where we have our ritual for our mode of air in place at. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with this spot up here. There definitely needs to be something done on top of here, not just a ritual. And maybe we might make this like a fine dining cuisine or something like that. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll get there. I did, however, manage to move all of our Hexarii blocks and whatnot into the room for the Hexarii. So you can see, we need to make the boots that go with this. I just haven't. I've also used this floor is also where one of the newer mods that came in here was chipped. And so these are all of the workbenches that come with chipped. So you can make some really interesting blocks with that. We also brought in framed blocks was also a new addition in this mod pack. And what is the other one? Builder's Delight. So I know the members have been having fun with that. I've also added in a trash bin down here. And then we also have the other I made another mixing cauldron, but this one's specifically for drawing out blood, which you occasionally need for doing some of the Hexaria recipes. We could go further down, but that just ends us back down into like the Mana and Artifice. I think there's a graveyard. I don't know if I've put that up on stream yet or not. If I haven't, I do apologize. So here's the graveyard. We got ourselves a couple of Poochies we found out in the wild. We need to get some more, I think, grave dust or corpse dust, whatever they call that stuff, so I can make more of these. Now, I did find out that even though these are top half slabs, you can't put this on a half slab block. It will not go for nothing. Just won't do it. So you have to, I have to probably redo this floor if I want to leave it as a permanent graveyard. And I just don't know. So this is where we moved my bedroom down to. I need to do some decorating in here, but I have moved my bed here. So it is a functional bed. But this is from Multi-Beds. So we also added that mod into here. So I now have a perfectly custom bed, and I could replace the white sheets with some other colored sheet. But it's fine. Wasn't all that concerned about it. Yes, I know it's a little dark in here, but normally you guys are used to me walking around with my night vision goggles on, and I have not been wearing those because it detracts a little bit from the atmosphere. It's supposed to be a little dark and moody in here. So if you're having a hard time seeing, absolutely please let me know, and I will go back and put the night vision goggles on. But otherwise, if not, just enjoy the ambiance for just a little bit. And of course, you know, none of this really has changed. Now, I will say, if you are following along and you are also playing on this mod pack, if you were playing it on the server, the 206 of the Primal Magic, we had a little bit of a headache with that. It did a little funny things, specifically with the spellcrafting altar. So just be mindful of that. Be a little careful. That aside, it's a fun little mod to get into and play around with. Now, I did finally get over here into our little workshop area, and I have done some renovationing. So I've removed the back and forth garden area. Oh, goody. Of course, I replaced it. I say I removed it, and then I turn around and just replace it with, you know, sugarcane. But I actually found myself lacking in sugarcane production, and so without a good viable means of making sugarcane, this is what I decided to go with. I don't need a whole lot of sugarcane, just enough to make paper every now and again, not too terribly much. We did, however, remove all of our all of that farming that was here. We plopped that down inside of this little dimensional pocket. So made our life a lot easier, compact everything, and now it still comes through and runs out. But there's less for us to have to go and watch and maintain, and it all just kind of works over there, and it's quietly hidden behind the scenes. We don't have to stare at it all the time. This really hasn't changed too much, other than I moved the nether bricks aside to do some glass. So we're going to need an awful lot of glass here. And of course, our Tinker's tank is still just as happy as can be. So, and not too much really has changed with that room, other than the removal of the big farm. We will come back up here. So we did finally get rid of the front door. I changed out the eyes in the dragon's head, though some people have taken and calling it a demon's head now. That's what they say. It looks more like it's a demon's head and not a dragon's head. And so, unfortunately, that's about all the more I've gotten at this point. I'm happy with the look, and the change in the eyeballs was a very nice touch. Creepers. So that worked out well. So, you know, if you fly into the mouth, as it were. Now, we did... I did add 2 levers here to the side that basically control a lava flow. Oops. I do that every time I play around with this thing. And so we can start a little lava drop, as it were. I'm thinking I want to hook that up to a series of timers, and so there's one on either side, and just have this thing like drool the occasional droplets of lava down. Just because I think it would add some really interesting ambiance to the whole figure. So there's a little bit of redstone work to do for that. Set up a little timer. We'll have to make certain to gauge, because I don't want a big glob of lava drool, as it were. We just want a little touch, like, you know, a couple, 2-3 blocks that come down, and I think that would work out really well. So beyond that, what else? So we extended out our road. So here's our little pier. It's still a work in progress. I've got to put the steps in so that it's easier to walk on, but we have put the road in, which means that we have room to put houses on either side as we go around. Except for like this section right here. This is not really going to be a housing area. But like over here, we can add some more houses along the waterfront. I still need to close off this cave. I've been kind of lazy at it, but I need to get it done. We've added a few more houses up here. So now you can start to get an idea of... we'll put little small, like, streets or something to get people to walk up into the houses. We'll put beds in all of these, and then we'll fill them up with villagers. Now, I don't have any roads that go this way, though. I think somewhere in this area here, we'll spin off a second road that comes and goes over and around this way. Because the other thing that we've started building is I've started building a secondary summer cottage, I guess you could say. I don't know what you want to call this place. It's definitely a lot lighter than the tower up there. So I'm thinking like manor house, mansion, something like that. I was of 2 minds, and I think I've made up my decision. I'm going to end up carving out the rest of the mountain and push back, just so that this roof is exposed all the way around, so that you can watch and look all the way up through the glass and see everything. The one thing I haven't decided on is right up here, there's a slime island. And so it kind of sits in a really funny place because it kind of covers a portion of the manor house. And so I thought about just removing it. I thought about relocating it. I even thought about turning it into a slime farm. I just haven't made up my mind, and so it just sits up there for right now. And if I don't ever make up my mind, it may just sit up there indefinitely. But this is a start. We've still got, I got to put the walls up. We got to carve out above that. We'll probably do some of this tomorrow. So if you turn in for our Saturday morning coffee, we'll probably do a little bit of landscaping and terraforming and rip some of this out. Free up the rest of this roof. We'll make some more glass to put in here. We get some walls in, put some doors on it, and really just start to make this look a little bit more like something. But then, yes, the road will come down, and we'll pick up these stairs off the road. And then we'll just drive the road all the way across. And so we'll keep on this like diagonal path here until it meets up back over here with this road. And so we'll bring it back into place with this road, which ties in over there. And then at that point, we will have the main thoroughfare, as it were, of the island that will take you all the way around the island. So, you know, a little bit of work done. And then with the roads in place, then we'll have an idea of where we want all the houses to lay out. And so we'll start sticking in houses every which way. I was thinking about actually breaking these into like little districts. So maybe we go out and find a different style villager house for this section over here, and we'll make this its own district, as it were. So maybe we go and find a spruce village. And then more over here, we'll make it like a plains or an acacia village. And then this is, you know, typical woodland village or whatever, which is what's going to sit over here. But, you know, maybe on that side over there, as we get around to it, we can put in a sandstone village. Like, so we go copy some of those villager houses over there and plop them in over here. And that may be what we do. And so we'll break these things up into like little districts of places. I think that'll be interesting. But all in all, I think the whole of what we've been trying to go for is coming along very nicely. I have to beef up that neck. That neck's a little on the thin side. We do need to clean up this redstone on the side over here, because I just don't think we're going to keep it. We're going to redirect a lot of this. So we're going to put in a big, tall, standing body out the back end here. And we'll reroute that claw, and we'll put another claw over here on top of this building. And so we'll have a big... I was trying to go with a more Chinese style dragon. It's just not working well with that head, and the size of it indicates a much bigger dragon. So I'm just going to go with the standard like English style King Arthurian dragon. So big, huge body, large wingspans, etc., etc. And we'll see how far along we can get with that dragon. But that's what I've been doing. Some of what I've been doing. Some of the other things that I have been doing for everybody that's been following along, we also have our community center. And I have been working out in our community center. The big thing that we've been building in the community center, and I had to make sure I was looking down so as not to spoil it. Of course, you know, we did our discarded books and things where people can just drop off junk or books or whatever else. We did clear out this space, but it looks like we've had some help. So somebody else has come out and pushed this back even further than what I did, which is cool. I'm not certain why we have all these big tall trees in here, but I'm certain whoever decided to do that has an idea what they're doing. But so last season, I had a viewer come on who was sitting there talking about what would really make this server feel more of a thing. A suggestion of that the server needed a sign at the starting area, at the welcome center, as it were, which that's basically the community center here is the where you spawn in at. So they thought a sign would make it really great. And if you can see already on the little mini map there on the side, we have a sign in place. And so this is our new sign. Spent about a week on that now. Let's do it this way. So this sign is made out of Supplementary's blackboards. So if you've never messed with these before, these are a really interesting block added by the Supplementary mod. It basically gives you, let me not drive into the rotating SMP. It gives you these black blocks here that you can right click on and you can draw on. Right? So we made the billboard. We made the billboard big enough so that people can come up and doodle on the board, as it were. Add a little whatever they want to it. So I did a little graffiti. Kara's been out here, done a little graffiti. Hilo's been out here, done a little graffiti. So the whole board's set up so that anybody can come out here and draw whatever they want on it. And all of the lettering over here is exactly as it looks like. This was all, these are little small, each individual block, and each one had to be hand drawn to get it in here. Now, what I did learn from this experience in doing this is that it's better to decide on the size of your lettering and then sit down somewhere, not off the side of a billboard. So in this case, let's say I wanted to do my lettering 3 blocks wide and 3 blocks tall, so a fully 9x9 letter. And I would have been better off to do this on the ground somewhere, draw out the letter, and then break off the individual pieces, because you can actually take these individual pieces and combine them in a crafting pad with a blank one and copy it. So I could have really made my life easy, done the whole alphabet one time, call it done and over with, and then could come and just copy the letters that I want and then place the blackboard pieces up. That would have been the simple way. Instead, I did it the hard way, where I filled out the entire board. I stood up here in scaffolding and hand drawn each of these letters one at a time, very painstakingly, all the way across, making certain everything lined up, and then had to fly out, look at it, fly back in. It was not pleasant, but I think in the end, I think the effect turned out nice. So we have a windmill that is spinning our SMP, and that windmill is powering a clock on the other side. So we have a little create clock on the other side that is rotating. But there we have, for the first time in the this communities, which, you know, this is only our second season, but it's our first sign. So there you go. So we're all kind of excited about it. It looks really good. We're happy with it. Mac has been on and off. She has been working very diligently on her flower shop. Last time she was on, she put a roof on it. Where she's taking it from here, I do not know. I think Katoa said he's going to come by and build us a blacksmith. I think he said he wanted to do the blacksmith shop. We'll see. Our Hibachi Grill and Ale now actually has mugs of ale to serve to our patronages. So we did find this little interesting discovery the other weekend, which was somebody popped a hole, and now that we know who it is. So this goes all the way down. And I didn't even realize that this was below spawn. Somebody else found it. But so yeah, there's this wonderful little cave full of all sorts of really neat, pretty things to look at and whatnot. That one of the members came and took and went and lit the whole place up so it was nice and safe. And there is a geode here. So, you can get amethyst blocks if you really needed it early on when you showed up onto the server. But if you just want somewhere neat just to come sit down, look, and stare at things, this works for that too. Yeah. So I think we're just talking with a couple of the other members that what we need to do is gussy up this entranceway here. And I think maybe swap out the vines for a bubble vader. I think that might actually work a little better. But, put like a gazebo or something here that makes sense. And we could do that. But otherwise, the community center is coming along very nicely. I think we have... Hilo was talking about coming out here and putting in a museum. Astria was going to supply blocks or artifacts to go inside the museum because we thought that would be cool. So that'll be interesting. I thought about opening up and putting a signage shop in here, like a little small come buy signs, and then actually go through the trouble of making the fonts that I have over here into regular lettering that people can purchase, and probably just kind of clean it up, make the letters a little bit more uniform than what I did here, but clean it up some, and then put that, make it available for people to come find. So we would just carve out the whole alphabet and stick them in boxes for people to come by and go, okay, I want to do a letter A, and copy the blackboard and copy all the letter A's that they want. That sort of thing. But those are just some thoughts, some ideas. Still so much to go and so much to do and so much to see. So let's go visit Hilo, since we were just talking about him. So he will be our next stop on this path here. Of course it would rain. So Hilo has been absolutely busy. He's first off, he took down the Mate Wizard Tower that was here, the Man and Artifice Tower. I don't know if anybody... there used to be a Man and Artifice Tower here. He has pulled it down and replaced it with this little structure he's got going on here. There's a pathway. It's hedged in. Get out of here, tree folk. He decided that he was going to go and Sir Dwarfington. Oh, that's great. So he is doing some immersive engineering. He's getting dirt, but that's what he's getting. So it looks like he's decided to go in on that route. He's got a very nice barn structure. I'm assuming some kind of barn or outdoor green farmhouse, so to speak. And I don't know. I'm horrible on what the name of that yard shack, I suppose you'd call it. I don't know. You can see he's been flattening in some places. I think he's doing a little bit of terraforming around here. Probably would work better if I flew this way around it instead. So he's gone. He's got a roof on his place now. And how good does this place look? I mean, really, he's done a wonderful job on this. And it doesn't, not too much of it looks like really out of place on it. So it looks really good. Looks like he's slowly working his way through mystical or immersive engineering. We'll go pop into his place because the interior looks just as good. Oh, that's a nice touch. So he started some of his interior decorating. I don't know what goes on down there. I don't want to know what goes on down there. Looks like he's gotten into a little bit of primal magic, but not too far. Well, I guess I could have come through the back door. He's done some occultism work. And then he has a second floor, which I believe... Yep, there's the elevator. So this place looks really nice. It's very well done. I like some of the design concepts that he's got going on here. It looks very good. I think last time I saw this, there was a library section of the house over here. Yeah. How nice does that look? Good for enchanting. He's got a little slime in a cage. Yeah, so like a little small library over here. And then, of course, he's got his own bed right there. So all in all, really first-rate job. Really cool. Really nice build. It's very, very pleasant to meander about in and look. I can't wait to see what he does decoration-wise on the interior and how much further he does out here. This is going to look really nice. It's going to be really cool. So, next up, we can go by and visit Shale. Shale's probably spent the last week or so working on her colony area. So we can go down and look at her colony real quick. I think it's going to be fastest way this way. All right. Pop. Oof. There's a lot of activity that goes on over here at her place. So I know she hasn't done too much upstairs. Her aquarium looks absolutely smashing. She's still got some work to do on that. But nonetheless, it still looks good. She's put in a set of stairs, it looks like. These look very nice. Loving the style. Looks so good. So I guess she is, and I actually managed to get into a second floor. We don't know what... She's cleaned up a lot of her chest monster, that's for certain. But it does look like she too has put down a mass of the chipped workbenches. So I can only imagine how much fun she's having with that. And her colony, if I'm not like totally mistaken, should be right over here. So this is where she spent, yeah, I can see it coming up on the map. Let's do this real quick. Let's land. Yeah, it should be all right. And we'll let it go from day to night. Oh. Away you. All right. And so we'll go visit inside of her colony space. It's going to not be happy with me, but that's all right. So Shale has been doing this. She has been doing the Dark Oak Colony. I have no idea why some of this is floating or not. We would have to get her and find out what she's got going on and how she's going about doing some of this stuff. But all that said, all of this is fairly new within like the last week or so. So looks like a hospital there. Looks like a building down there. If I didn't know any better, I'd say, yeah. That is a building for certain. Looks like the True Dwarven Warehouse. If I had to stick a name to that building. Ow. Just run into everything. And that's the dungeon area, so alright. Yeah, so she's been busy working on this little dwarven build. You can tell it's her place because she's got the world's tallest, not really, but she's got a lightning rod all the way up and down, and that is to help prevent fires. Lightning strikes are start fires, and fires are a very real thing here because fire can very quickly spread out of control and burn down an entire area. That, of course, has happened a 2-3 times. So it looks like she's definitely been adding on. So she's put on the start of her mushroom cap, as it were. And of course, you know, her farm's up here just steadily chugging along. Yeah, Shale is one of our big like resource fanatics. So if you go, I need 2K of this particular resource or whatnot, chances are Shale probably has it and has figured out how to collect a massive amount of it. So let's see. Bazinga and Astria have been really busy. Alchemic is online. He's been super busy at his place. It looks absolutely amazing. But let's go over to Kara's place and we'll go say hi to. She has put in like massive amounts of work as compared to the last time even I saw it. Holy cow. All right, so it looks like she's got window trimming on here already. I think she finally got all of the floors up and all of the walls up. I don't know if she's necessarily... Well, she's got roof covering it, but I don't know what she's doing as far as an actual roofing block, as it were. But she has got an awful lot of just... Wow. That is definitely... It's definitely a building. It is definitely a building. Is that really still floating around over here? I came out here with an ice base spell, and I drew a big letter N over here. And I be honest with you, I kind of expected it to melted away and gone away by now. I may have to come over here and clean that up for her. That's rude. I shouldn't leave that sitting around like that. It was a nice, funny joke, but I shouldn't just leave it sitting around. But yeah, this is quite the establishment that she's got going on over here. Holy cow. She's got stairwells already in place. Yeah. This is not a place you want to come over here at night and try to figure out, because likely is not, you're going to get lost. She's been messing around with some glass texturing. So she's gotten, oh, yeah, you can see where she's been laying out all of the different blocks. So she too has gotten totally taken over by the chip blocks and the builder's blocks. I kind of did that when we rolled in a new update. I kind of expected that it was going to give them a whole lot more choices as far as their block patterns go and what they can build with and whatnot. That we were likely to see a flurry of new development. And yeah, I would say definitely got a flurry of new development over here. Looks great. I just, like everybody else, I can't wait to see what happens next. So the next people we will go visit are Forest Fires neighbors. Longtime players is Bazinga and Company. And so Bazinga has been this. I swear he's going to have an entire floating continent out here. So this island's new. Looks like a graveyard. That's still their standard farm that was here last time. Looks really neat. Oh, they've changed our housing. So that's interesting to say the least. Nice little quaint cottage house. My guess is that's a power center. Yep, there's a power line right there. And then over here is little Chris's place. Looks like he's been growing glowberries. I got a little fishing pole. Looks, yep, little fishing hole right here. We'll have to catch up with Bazinga and Astria at some point and see about getting them to give us a grand tour and explain some of the thoughts that are going in and around the decisions that is driving them to building in these various different styles. It's interesting because I think this now makes the second or third, maybe fourth base. Oh, I gotta get used to that. Getting off that. I've been on the ground the last week or so. I haven't been doing a whole lot of flying around on my broom, so getting off and just walking normally messes with me just a little bit. Looks like, oh, that's crayfishes. Looks like they've been playing around with some of the new bricks as well. So very interesting. So very neat. And then we'll swing over here to Alchemic's place, and we'll go say hi to his collection of people. Now, Alchemic's been on the server, and Alchemic's been focused almost exclusively on, I mean, he's done some work in some of the other mod packs, but he's been almost exclusively mine colonies. So, as we fly into his place, you can see he's expanded out. So last time, this all used to be wooded area, and so we came through and we cleaned it up for him, and then he's been slowly expanding. all on his own. Oh, I know. That's the lumberjack guy. And he's just been building. Some of this looks really neat. And he's incorporated, this is the End Remastered Castle. So he's incorporated this into his colony, into his colony's build. Now, I know he was talking about he's going to have to do some alteration to the buildings once they get up so they fit better with the castle. But all in all, it's still a massive, impressive effort that he's going through just to make it all fit nice and snugly in here. This doesn't look like it was like shoved in here. This looks like he took his time and put some effort into getting things to line up. Keeping in mind of what's going on. He's got some nice roadways he's been building in here, so he's been keeping up with that. Are those mushrooms? Yep, those are mushrooms. Okay. Looks like he's got some other buildings that are going to go over here. That is, I think that's like the ritual, not the ritual, the holy, it's a holy site of some sort. I don't know off the top of my head. There's another building he's currently in progress of building. I imagine he'll probably knock a hole in the wall right there and put a way in and out. If he hasn't already done so, he's already done so. It's just, you know, making this fit in very nicely over here. It's going to be a fabulous place once he gets it fully up and going. I can't wait to see. It's all like super interesting what people are currently up to and working on, and their takes on different things is so cool. And it's very nice to see that, you know, everybody is building what they want and having a good time at it. So there you go. There are other members, obviously, on the server, but we haven't seen too much of them. Starlight Hill, forgot. Mac Hazard. Year 11? Huh. Interesting. So Mac has her place here. Oh, that's interesting. Apparently, Mac had a birthday, and I wasn't aware of that. Doesn't look like she's done too much more with her aquarium down here, though. I think she's been busy on other little projects. I have been on a one-man crusade to get rid of the rain. But last time we looked in at Mac had built all of this fence. Ow. So here is our auto milker that we made for Mac. Apparently she needed some chickens in her, and with the donkeys. And then, of course, the phone box, my personal favorite. I don't know that we want to go down there because I don't think I have... Oh, wait, I have a way back out of here. Let's hope this doesn't kill me. Okay. I have no idea what this goes... It's a big, giant flower farm. Okay, so this is probably where she's getting all of the materials for her flower shop that she's going to put up. Because, you know, growing flowers is a thing in this mod pack anyways. All right. Right. Let's see about getting out of here now. Yeah, that should be good enough. This will get us back home. Just like that. Magic. It's such a wonderful, useful thing sometimes. But as you can see, this used to be where the front door was at. We've taken out the front door now. And that's been our week so far. I mean, everybody's been doing a lot of really fancy things. Everybody's been tearing things up and putting new things in and taking old stuff out. And we had an update to the mod pack midweek, which added a whole lot more options and availability for people to do different things. Ow. All right. Nothing like getting hurt, and you're like, what got me? But yes, we have, I took out the front door. That's where the front door used to be at. I left the gold block and everything in place, but we've since removed it. What is that? I'm going to slide right through here. Oh. Yeah, that's an elevator with... so that's an interesting thing about elevators, right? If you do an elevator with a slab, it looks a little funny. I don't know why. It just does. In the meantime, that's where we're at. That's our week in review. A lot of really cool stuff going along. A lot of people been busy. And then, everybody's been having a good time. We've laughed. We've joked. We've poked fun at each other. I've crashed the server a number of times. That was fun. It's just been a regular thing. Yeah, I need to bring in stairs so that this is now a walkable path. I've been trying to decide whether or not I want to leave the mobs as a functional part of the area. I.e., we're not going to put in lights or anything else that will prevent mobs from spawning and just leave the area as this dangerous space. I suppose the real question, if we want to do that, is whether or not we care about losing villagers or not. If we don't care about losing villagers, then it doesn't matter. Now, hopefully the villagers are smart enough that they've already taken themselves to bed at this point in time. And so it wouldn't be a big issue. But it's definitely a possibility that, skeletons or something else could come by and absolutely kill a villager on us. I don't think I really care all that much. So we may just let the villagers live or die as dependent on their willingness to do smart things like go indoors when it gets nightfall. Stop shooting at me. I should be using that spell, because I'm still working on getting that spell wrote. Now, I do have some new spells that I will probably spend a little bit of time tomorrow working on as well. Get those ones good to go. Yeah, you see what I mean by fire spread is just absolutely... It is a thing. Okay, guys. Okay. But this is what we get. We chose to live in the area. It's definitely a rougher neighborhood. We are going to have to be a little bit more careful. Now, that was one of the other things that I think it was last Saturday stream we were discussing is some of these houses that we're going to bring down here may not necessarily host a villager. There is the possibility that some of these houses we're going to rough up a little. Oh, that's not good. That's even worse. Where put my weapon at? That's what I think of you, sir. Reflect my... Oh. Anyways, yeah, it's a little dangerous out here. It's just... There are definitely better neighborhoods. But you can't sometimes, you just can't beat the views in some of these areas either, too. So there you go. Anyways, killing stuff was not on the agenda for tonight. So we are not going to make it part of the agenda. But yeah, so Saturday, tomorrow, on our next stream, we will definitely we're going to work on getting our 2 new spells. I think we'll get those guys done. We'll get those done early in the stream. We'll look to tear out some of this netherrack that's on the side here. I like the claw where it's at, so we'll try and just flesh that claw out a little bit more, put another one over here on the other side. I think getting those guys in place will give us some ideas as to how big or where to put the body at in relationships to the arms and whatnot. And then we'll start sculpting out probably the body next. And I think what we'll end up doing is off the back here. Let's see if I can get to it. Yeah, you can do it this way. Off the back here are a couple of lava puddles. And I'm thinking if the dragon is big enough, that there's no reason why we can't have him standing 1 foot in either lava puddle. So one right here and then one over there somewhere. Yeah, over here. And so, you know, we may just bring up 2 legs out of here and then we'll put a tail that flops down somewhere over here. So if you know, scope of scale is this is going to be based on the head. This is going to be a really large dragon. Again, I was not planning on quite as large dragon, but large squishing up the body just a little bit, but I don't know. We'll start with the claws tomorrow, one thing at a time. You got to start somewhere. You got to build somewhere. So you just start one thing at a time. And I am so totally out of my element right now because building was never one of my strong suits. As a tech guy, I do more work with farms as was fairly evident in season 1, where I did all of the technical background for a lot of the farms that we had running on the server. So that's where my stronger suits are at. This season, I'm trying to branch out a little bit more, do some more builds, less farm. Though we were talking with Bazinga, and we had this idea of, it's probably, we got a few moments real quick. We'll do this super fast. And then we're going to have to end our stream for tonight because we will be over time at that point. But I'm going to show you guys these guys here real quick. So, Man and Artifice has constructs, which are these little robot automatons. And you can program these guys to do various odd tasks, like shear sheep, breed and kill cows, take care of farmlands. But mostly we've been working on them to make rune blocks for us. And so in this box is all of the stuff that I had to use to take this guy and make him create a rune block from scratch, i.e. He takes the rune pattern and he carves the rune pattern, and then he pounds the runic anvil with the superheated Ventium and gets runes of marking, because that's the one I had him making. And then we got to thinking about it after we got that done, and me and Bazinga were like, what we could do is this big, huge, like Lord of the Rings style dwarven factory with a bunch of these guys who are all carving rune emblems, and large sizable quantities or on demand, however you wanted to look at it. If the stuff was available in the box to go get, hey, great, go get it. The other thing too is that the Lodestar works on redstone signals. So, we could set the box up that if the box has something, then, hey, great, go do whatever that happens to be. And if not, then it locks the system up and the whole guy just stands around. There are those things to work out. We can do that. I don't see a big issue with that. Anyways, like I was saying, we were thinking about this huge, giant dwarven style facility with lava pouring out the ceilings in some areas, and a whole host of these guys running around, carving rune graphs, smashing and making superheated Ventium, and doing all of the stuffs to make runes in an automated fashion. So you don't have to do it. You just kind of go over there and pick up whatever it is that you want. What would be cool is if we can figure out how to get it to automatically make superheated Ventium ingots. And the big trick for that is going to be getting Ventium dust. After that, the rest of it should go fairly easy without too much problems. But all that aside, I've got some more planning to do. So I am going to leave you guys right where you came in at. And that's me making plans at my desk. So, thank you for coming out for Friday night community night. I hope you got to see some really interesting new sites, and see that, our membership has been busy, hard at work, and making some really interesting and fascinating things to see. And I can't wait to see what happens and what's changed between now and next week. So, until tomorrow, be safe. Enjoy your Friday nights. Thank you for coming out and spending a little bit of time with us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And until next time, be safe.